All right, let's go there now. So this is parallel lines, and this is the major target for today's lesson, and that is all we are going to use to end this term's work. After parallel lines, we look at triangle, and that is the end of this term's work. And we do more question, revision questions, and that is that. Now, we say parallel lines are lines in a plane that never meet. You can see the sketch we have here. You can see the two lines that are parallel lines. You can see the arrowhead. These are parallel lines, so take note of that. So the arrowhead signifies that the two lines are parallel. So take note of that. Then we say the symbol used for parallel lines. You see double lines like this. What this one means is that if they label a line, because sometimes in mathematics they may label these two lines. They may label one, maybe they can label here, let's say A. They can label here maybe B. So by labeling this thing A and B, maybe this side they label it C, maybe this side they label it D. So they can say if they want you to know that A and B is parallel to C, D, this is what they will write. They will write A, B like this. So I'm just trying to show you some symbols we use in WAEC exam. So when you see something like this, A, B, you now see two straight lines before you see C, D. So it means that line AB and CD are parallel. So that is what I mean by this symbol. So take note of that in case we start moving higher in our level in mathematics. Now that is parallel line. Now let's go to the next subheading for today, which is transversal. Now this is a transversal. It's a line that crosses two or more parallel lines. So you see a transversal is a line that cut across two or more parallel lines. So this transversal, when it crosses parallel line, it creates some angular effect. Now this effect, they are special pairs of angles. They have special relationship. So those angles are the angles we are going to treat as we move on. Those are the corresponding, the alternate angles, and just like that. So you will see them as we move on now. So we said it forms several pairs of angles. Then these angles have special relationships. So these angles we know as we move to the next slide, which is corresponding angles. Now, corresponding angles are angles in matching position when the transversal cut across. Now, you can see the two lines. These two lines, you see the small arrows on them, they are the parallel lines. Now, you see these two angles, 124, 124. See, they are facing up. So this is what I mean by angles in matching position. So 124 and 124, they are in the same position. So they match each other in the same position. They are facing up. So they are equal and they are corresponding. Now 54 and 54, you see they are facing this left direction. So they are equal and they are corresponding. Even this side too, even this side is also equals to this side. So these two angles here, they are corresponding. And 54 and this side is also equal. They are vertically opposite. So this is 54, this is 54. So when you are solving questions in parallel lines, you see things like this. So this is vertically opposite. This 54 and this 54 is corresponding angles. So take note of that. Just like this 124, this bottom here is also 124. So this 124, if you see, is a vertically opposite angle to the other 124, and it's also equal to this side as the corresponding angles. So take note of all these properties. It will help you to understand better as we move on. Now, the next one is alternate angles. Now, if you observe very well, this place is vertically opposite to this. So this is 126. The two of them are equal, they are vertically opposite. And this 126 that I just sketched is corresponding to this 126. So therefore, this 126 is equal to this 126. You can see how they are related, but in mass, because this 126 is equal to this 126, we don't usually call it corresponding, we don't call it vertically opposite. Instead, we call it alternate. So this is alternate angle. If you look at the meaning, we say alternate angles are formed when a transversal crosses parallel line. We say they lie on opposite. This is the major difference between alternate and corresponding in the definition. They lie in the opposite side of the transversal. So if you see, they are usually equal angles. The angles are equal, but they are in the opposite directions. You see now opposite sides. So take note of that. Look at that one. Look at that 54 that I showed us before. You see the 54 is here. And if you remember, I sketched this side equals to 54. That means this side is also 54. So therefore, for alternate, if this is 54, behind on this side will be 54. So they are alternate angles. Now look at the next part, which is the last topic for this term, sum of angles in a triangle. So when you sum the three angles in a triangle, it's going to give us 180 degrees. So 66 plus 59 plus 55 is supposed to give us 180 degrees. So this is the basic principle I want us to learn in triangles. Sum of angles in a triangle give us 180 degrees. The next one we are looking at is equilateral. In equilateral triangles, all the angles must be 60. That is one property of equilateral. And all the sides must be equal. How do you know that the sides are equal? In mathematics, we use this short line to represent equal sides. So this line, and this line shows that the three sides of this triangle are equal and all the angles will be 60, 60, 60. Please take note, in exam they may not tell you that this angle is equilateral or this triangle is equilateral. All they will just show you is a triangle putting this line on the middle like this. So by the time you see all these lines on the middle, it is now left for you to know that this is actually an equilateral triangle. So the next one we are moving to is going to be isosceles triangle. Okay, this is isosceles triangle. So in isosceles triangle, you discover that two sides are equal. Then the two sides that are equal, you discover that the base angles opposite the two sides they are also equal. So this is a simple sketch for you to understand this. So you can see an isosceles triangle has two equal sides. The angles opposite the equal sides are equal. Then the formula is base angles are equal. So take note of this. So you see this symbol, this line on these two sides. It shows that these two sides are equal. So take note of this. Now, this is example I want us to do. But before we do this example, let me show you the applet for easy understanding of this lesson I just explained. Now, this is the applet I want us to use. So in this applet, I can demonstrate parallel lines, then show you your transversals. You can see your transversals, then show you how these parallel lines can change depend on the effect of this transversal on them. Now let's see something. If I click on this point, you see I can move the parallel lines like this. So you can do the same thing when you click the link I'm going to send to us now. When you click the link, you will see this applet, then you should be able to do the same thing. I can move the parallel lines. You see, I can move it. I can click on this point and move. So anything you want to do, you can do it. You can position your parallel lines like this. You can shift this one up. So it depends on what you want to do. You see what I'm doing? I'm just playing around with the parallel lines, and that is that. So you can actually do that, but this is what I want us to learn. Now, for corresponding angle, if you click on this point, you will see corresponding angles here. So these angles are corresponding. So you can see this is 47 on this side, this other side is 47. You can see other corresponding angles by clicking on any of these checkbox here. Now you already know that these two angles they face the same directions. That is why they are corresponding angles. Now looking at this back here and this back, they are also corresponding. If you click on 2, you can see now these two angles are corresponding, 133, 133. These are corresponding angles. If you click on 3, you will see that 47, 47, these are corresponding angles, just like that. So with this applet, you can observe and see your corresponding angles and other alternate angles. So this is another corresponding angle. So these are the four corresponding angles on this parallel line. So make sure you use this applet. It will help you to understand them. You can move this point around. You can see it. See the way I'm moving. You can move it around. Any effect you want to create, you can do it and you will get the same result for easy understanding. Alright, so that is corresponding angles. If you want to see alternate angles, just click on alternate. You see, these are alternate angles. One thing about corresponding and alternate is this. You already know that this angle here, let me see. Okay, this angle here is vertically opposite to this place. So therefore, this angle is equal to this angle. And this angle on this side is a corresponding angle to 44. So you can see why alternate angles are also equal angles. So you see the reason why alternate angles they are equal angles, because the vertically opposite angle is a corresponding angle to this side. So if you click on the second one, if you click on this second one, you see another alternate angles here. So these angles are alternate angles. If you click on this, you will see another alternate angles. They are angles that are opposite on the parallel line. They are on opposite side of the parallel line, while corresponding are on the same side. You can see corresponding, you can see them. Corresponding are on the same side. You see, this is on the same side. The alternate will now be on opposite side. You can see it. See, you can see what I'm trying to observe. This is for corresponding. You see, if you go to alternate, you see what is happening. So with this, you can understand this effect yourself. It will make you to understand your work very well. You can click on the point as I did and move around. You can change the direction of the parallel lines. See, you can change it. You can move it anyhow you wish. So any what thing you want to do, you have the right to do it. It's for your own understanding. Understand? And the last one we have is this. So you can see this side is alternate to this side. I can click it and make it closer a little. I can move this point closer. So this is 32. I can move the angle a little bit close. So you see 73, 73. I can move this away. So that is why this applet is good. So just play around with the applet. It will help you to understand your parallel lines very well. Then finally, before we go, look at this same side interior. So when you add the two interior of the parallel lines, for example, this 140 and this 40, this side, when you add them, you can see by the time you add them, it will give us 180 degrees. So these two interior, this is another important formula you must not forget in this topic. Whenever you add these two interior, it will give us 180 degrees. So take note of that. So that is all I want us to learn in this applet. That is all. You can check others. You can see this one as well. You see the interiors. You see when you add them, it will give us 180 degrees. So you can do for the exterior. You can see them. When you add them, it will give us 180 degrees. So just play around with this applet. Click on it and you will understand it better. So that is all for this applet. Get it from the link I will send. Play around with it, understand it your own way, and that is that. So let's go to our lesson and end today's lesson. So if you look at today's lesson, if you look at today's lesson, after isosceles triangle, we have some examples and some exercises. So these are the examples we are going to do as our revision questions tomorrow. So just take note of this note, go through this note. These are the examples. We'll do them as revision questions tomorrow. So just take note of them. Then this from your textbook, you can study these questions, and that is all for the lesson. So tomorrow we do our revision. I will start with this topic, revision questions on this topic. Then we do other topics we have done so far till on Friday. That is all for today's lesson, and that is the last lesson for second term. Thank you for watching this video. Do have a nice day.